Welcome to another episode of Random and Famous. Today, joining me is Naj. Naj is president of Xenomorph IT solutions software company. This is a data management solution for financial markets. Naj, thank you very much for joining me on this platform.
Thank you, Tosif, for inviting me to join you.
Okay, my pleasure. I really appreciate that you took time. And Naj, you are also a very keen squash player, and you're also promoting squash in Manhattan area for Junior Squash Mission. So we'll touch this a bit later, but tell my audience who don't know you that what you do exactly.
Well, firstly, thank you, Tosif, for picking up on the Manhattan Junior Scholarship fundraising thing that we're working on. It's through sort of kindness such as yours that folks tend to learn about these worthy causes and such initiatives, and then hopefully they can also be part of it and help spread goodness where it's needed most. In terms of who I am and what I do, I work at Xenomorph, and we're an international company headquartered in London, England, and I myself am based in New York City. And as president of Xenomorph Software Inc., I'm actually responsible for managing our relationships with the firms that we work with and support. And I guess over the last 25 years or so, Xenomorph has delivered the most comprehensive and really, best-in-class enterprise data management solutions to financial institutions around the world. Would you like me to talk a little bit about what we as a company do?
Yeah, sure. Because my question will be here is you are in this company for 20 years now. So what kept you so long in the company? What the motivation behind it?
Yeah, I think what kept me so long in the company is the fact that the company is fantastic. I mean, we are a great set of people. The product that we develop is really challenging in the sense that we are addressing some real world data issues. The strength of our platform, it stems from the user-friendly UI that we have for managing large volumes of complex data. Its inherent support for inbuilt and proprietary third-party analytics, but perhaps I think one of the things that our clients they value most is our truly sort of flexible and scalable data model, which allows them to effectively manage any type of asset class, no matter its complexity and whatever its frequency or its data type. I think one of the other things that really has kept me interested and at Xenomorph is the fact that our sort of product development roadmap, which is really client-led, sets us apart. It's enabled us to consistently and in my opinion, correctly invest in our vision to develop the most comprehensive, the most scalable and performant enterprise data management solution in the market. And I think one of the things that our clients really sort of like benefit from is the fact that not only are they able to efficiently, effectively manage their data, but they are also able to actually meet the regulatory demands and requirements of independent price verification and market conformity. One of the very interesting things to note is over the last probably, 3 to 5 years or so, there's been a massive demand on us and also from the clients, in the sense that everyone's looking to save money, and one of the big areas to save money on is how much money the clients are spending on data. So we find ourselves leading the charge right now in driving down data costs and improving data efficiencies through some of the initiatives that we're working on that are culminated in our sort of like data cost optimization module, which is part of Xenomorph's EDM platform. So those are the sort of the key things that really sort of like kept me going with Xenomorph and why I've been here. Apart from obviously, the people I work with are fantastic, and our clients are just amazing to work with as well. Just from the names perspective, but also the individuals that we interact with day in, day out. It's an absolute joy. That's that's why I'm at Xenomorph.
Okay, yeah, great. No, great explanation. Thank you. By the way, just thinking on that last year and a half, especially in pandemic, how it affected business, like wise, is it gone up because everyone goes to the e-commerce now and everyone doing the business online. So is it impacted in a way that you had to change certain strategies or something to keep going or keep the ball running?
I mean, we're not in the e-commerce world per se, but however, one of the things that we have benefited from is from the fact that Xenomorph has been forward-looking and forward-thinking in terms of what its product needs to do and how it needs to support its client. The method that, or rather the strategy for us really hasn't really changed over the last year and a half in terms of the COVID side of things. We were already, I guess, dispersed in terms of being a global organization. The way that our infrastructure is set up, we were not found to be scrambling to set up some sort of remote access to our servers and things like that, and we were already supporting our clients in multiple different ways. So COVID coming along hasn't really affected our operations per se. Obviously, it has had an effect on certain things that we were expecting to do, or certain things that our clients were expected to do. But in terms of how the product has developed, how we've supported our clients, how we've gone about making sales and extending relationships and helping our clients through these difficult times as well. No, that, I mean, we had already laid the groundwork for that to do that, with or without COVID, as it were, and hopefully, COVID is over very soon. But yeah, no, it hasn't really affected us in a great deal.
Okay, let's touch on the other side, which is a common platform which brought us together today, which is about squash, right? You are a keen squash player, and you are working very closely with the Manhattan Squash Mission, which is, I believe, for junior players to provide them access to all squash players, right? So how you become associated with them and how long you are doing this, and you recently decided this new initiative. Tell us about yourself in detail, please.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Manhattan Squash is run by a number of my dear friends, including Cleve Miller and James Green, who both share my passion for squash, and they're probably just as bonkers about it as I am, and how it can actually transform one's life physically, mentally, emotionally, and in some ways spiritually. Cleve actually reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in helping raise funds for the junior scholarship program that Manhattan Squash had put together. And in essence, I mean, it was a bit of a no-brainer. As to be honest, I wouldn't say no to something like that, and do almost anything for the love of squash and to help kids. The Hudson Guild, which is the organization that Manhattan Squash is working with, it's over 100 years old, and one of the things that it continues to be driven by is actually the mission to create and I guess sustain a strong and effective community, and effectively help individuals and families to basically get through what they're going through and achieve their highest potential, and also maintaining a focus on those in most need economically. Manhattan Squash, one of the things that when they were putting the squash center together and their thoughts behind it, the core belief really from Manhattan Squash has been to basically help everyone get access to squash. And in this instance, what they've done is they've complemented Hudson Guild's own after-school program, and they're doing so at no additional cost to the Hudson Guild and also to the kids who are going to be benefiting from it. I mean, there are many qualities I think that make Manhattan Squash shine, but this, for me at least, is actually a prime example of why New York City and any other city needs a Manhattan squash to do good by actually giving through those most in need. And then, sorry, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, so is that's the actual motivation behind it for yourself personally, to give access to the kids to be able to play, and enjoy squash?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the joy that I found in squash, I would love for everyone to be able to experience that, and probably not go as bonkers as I am with squash, but certainly enjoy what squash has to offer. Because I think one of the things that squash has done for me, certainly it's taught me a lot of life lessons in terms of how to conduct myself, how to be a better person on court, off court, and how to accept wins, how to accept, and perhaps more importantly, how to accept losses.
You win and you lose, but you learn from these things, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, one of my very good friends, who was an ex-pro, he taught me something very important. He said it's actually quite interesting that when you get onto a squash court, sometimes you get to see the person who is inside the person that you're actually playing, because how do you control your emotions? How do you maintain a sense of dignity whether you win or lose, and how do you come across as being humble in everything you do? And I think all sports, but I think especially squash, because it's a one-on-one interaction, it allows you to grow emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Yeah. Okay. I read your recent post on LinkedIn. Actually, I think it was yesterday or this morning. I read it, and it's all about this new mission for the squash. You are painting something, right? And it will be original copy, which will goes to the it's like a prize, right? Tell us briefly about this. What's all about?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I actually completed it last night, and apart from squash, I've got a couple of other sort of like passion projects, art, and also cooking and a few other things. But I mean,
a talented person, right?
I don't know about talented. I think I waste a lot of time doing things I shouldn't be doing, but
you're managing your time well, I must say.
Thank you. But last night I finished an Audrey Hepburn, and I'll be certainly be posting the completed painting sometime today. And it's a classic painting, but it's a different take on it. I finished it with, or rather, I painted it with acrylics, and it's actually, if I don't say so myself, it's actually a lovely piece. And hopefully whoever is fortunate enough to be drawn out of the hat, they will enjoy it as well. So everyone who contributes to the Manhattan Squash Junior Scholarship Program, their name will be put into a hat, and we will draw the winning person out of the hat. And
when this draw happening?
I'm hoping that we do it on the day of the exhibition match between Ali Farag and Miguel Rodriguez. So hopefully one of the two chaps will actually do it.
Yeah, that will be interesting. Yeah, really nice. So I believe, everything starts with a vision or a plan. People think about a lot of things during their career, but to take action is vital. Sometimes we just keep thinking, we don't take that first step. So what and when was the biggest step you took that changed your life?
I think, to be honest, there's been many steps and many missteps.
If you have to pick one and say it could be 10 years back, or it could be 6 months ago, and you say, okay, this is the one which really changed my life, or I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, I think, studying applied software engineering or leaving London and moving to New York City. But I think one of the most profound effects on my life was actually deciding to actually play squash as a sport, believe it or not, as a sport. Squash has actually helped me to help myself and to help others in ways that I never thought possible. One of the things that I'm extremely proud of from squash is around 5 or so years ago, I was actually walking to the local grocers, and it was probably, I don't know, no more than say 3 avenues and say 6 blocks of a walk. But a few blocks into that, I was actually huffing and puffing, and I became so tired that I had to take a break to actually catch my breath. It was then I actually realized that my diet and my lack of physical activity, it was killing me. And my weight had ballooned to 180 pounds. But then, one of the things that I started to do was that I became so engrossed with trying to actually get fit. I tried to join a gym. I tried to do running. I tried to do cycling. None of those things were really exciting or interesting. And then I became so engrossed with squash that almost every free moment I had was spent understanding what it meant to become a better squash player. I took advice and lessons from anyone who would be kind enough to get on court with me. And then one of the things that I actually did end up doing was coming to the bit of a come to Jesus moment in terms of realizing that any lessons on and whatever with squash is going to be a complete waste of time until I get my weight and my fitness under control. I'd never been that heavy in my life, and then once I started to research what was actually supposed to be a good, efficient squash player, everything just changed. I cut out certain food groups, cut out sugary drinks, changed my approach to everything, and
exactly, I can absolutely resonate with that, because once you go into sports, any sports you like and you have passion for that, everything changes, right? Your mindset, your attitude towards your life, towards the business, towards the people, your diet, and it brings like so many things.
Exactly. And that's it. I mean, I echo that, Dosif. I mean, slowly the actual, squash Rubik's Cube was beginning to be solved. My weight actually dropped from 180 to 130, and which also meant that, I no longer had any problems with knees and things like that. And but the I think the biggest thing that actually changed was not just the physical side of things, but I think and I feel that I started to think more clearly. So my mental fitness actually increased as well. And this is why I think, coming back to this junior scholarship program, I think it is so important what Manhattan Squash is doing, that helping children to actually get into sports, avoiding them getting into bad diets, bad eating habits, bad or lack of physical activity. This will set them up not just for life in terms of a physical sport, but in terms of how they should potentially conduct themselves on and off court, which is fantastic.
Exactly. So that's a great initiative, and I believe in that you have to put an effort and you have to take that step. And it's important for everyone, because people are shy sometimes, or they're thinking what others will say, even the family members, what they will say. Whether it's a business, you're starting a business or a new idea or sport, but you have to push yourself, cross that boundaries, challenge yourself, be consistent, and then anyone can achieve their goals. I believe in that. Does luck plays the part in that? Do you have to be lucky to achieve these things, whether in business or in sports? What do you think?
I think sometimes luck probably plays a part in the sense that you have to be in the right place at the right time. But I think one of the things that probably sets it apart is the determination, and you need someone behind you to help guide you and push you, and I think having that peer group is very important, because that actually is something that can set you up for life. And I think in business and in sports, everyone has a mentor and friends who look out for one another. But I can, hand on heart, I can actually say that the people that I've got to know through squash, whether they're older than me, my age, younger than me, they've all been so I guess positive in pushing me in different sort of ways, and I just hope that everyone experiences that, because if you don't have a peer group that is positive around you, it can be quite difficult, and it's lovely to be part of this community.
Yeah, exactly. So what message you would like to give to anyone who are holding themselves back for obvious reasons, but want to change their life?
There was a fantastic quote I came across a while ago, but unfortunately I can't remember who actually said it. But I guess if I was to summarize it, it was something like, "If not now, when?"
Yes. Yeah, great. Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's sports, if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it?
Yeah, exactly. To do good, you actually have to do something, right? That's what it is. Yeah. Thank you so much, Naj, for coming and sharing your passion and your idea. I'm sure it will inspire someone. And the whole point of this podcast I started is, if I can change or push one person at least from any conversation, which I try to do with various personalities, then the mission accomplished. So thank you so much, and we will speak soon, and I'll see you guys, my audience, on the next episode very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Tasir. Thank you.